The U.S. men's national team wraps up its Gold Cup group stage play in Charlotte, North Carolina on Sunday against the infamous Trinidad and Tobago. So as you can see, I'm going to be going over my preferred starting 11 that I think we should be using for this game. Now, it's a little bit different than the way we've been playing throughout the first two games of the tournament, so I'm going to give my reasons as to why we should play that way. If you haven't already, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more, and follow me on my other socials, but let's go. So, there's a few reasons as to why I want to run a back three in this game. The first one being our winger production throughout the first two games of the tournament has been very poor. Cade Cowell, Jordan Morris, Alex Dejas, none of those guys have really done enough to impress me, and it also just makes me wonder if they haven't been able to perform against these, even St. Kitts, right? What makes me to believe they're going to be able to perform against better teams in the knockout round or against Trinidad and Tobago? So I just think shifting might just be better for the whole collective of the group. The second reason is I think it helps us play to the strengths of our attacking fullbacks. We have guys like John Tolkien, DeJuan Jones, Brian Reynolds. They're all pretty good going forward, and I think it helps fit their strengths a lot more instead of sitting back and relying on the wingers to do a lot of the work. I think Brian Reynolds especially is a very good attacking profile from an outside back, so it makes a lot more sense. And I also think DeJuan Jones is a pretty good attacking fullback as well. Both those players are good defending. They have some good pace and can put a really good cross into the box. So that's another reason as to why I think a back three could do wonders. We have three good center backs. Now, not all of them are 18 players because only maybe Miles Robinson is. But I think compared to the other teams in the tournament, we have definitely one of the better groups of the center backs. Now, we are a little bit thin with Aaron Long still kind of not 100% and also not being at the same level. So we'll see if any injuries happen in this game. It also gives us a foundation to get Gianluca Buzio and Georgi Mihailovic in better areas. We have a back three. We should be able to defend well, hold out a lot of the possession, especially in these games against lower level teams. And you want your playmakers of Buzio and Georgi Mihailovic. If they can get on the ball with some space, they will be able to find the runners forward. They will be able to make things happen. I think Ferrari is better as under a target 9 running off a guy like Brandon Vasquez. Now, I'm not super big on Jesus Ferrer, but he is one of the better attacking players we have in this group, if not the best. Compared to the wingers, at least, I think he's been playing better than Dejas, Senor, Cade Cowell, and I think he will score goals if you give him those opportunities. And I just think Jesus Ferrer, he's good making those runs forward, but when he's having to do it by himself, and now with a lot of support, he's not going to be able to do a whole lot in the game. And my last reason is I just think we need to try it before the knockout round. Like, say we run a 4-3-3 and it's just the same result, not a lot of good attacking sequences and things we've seen from the wingers. I think if we use it now, we can see if it will work. If it won't work, there's some things we need to figure out going into the tournament. Because I think as we start to play those better teams throughout the rest of the tournament, a back three might be able to better suit those teams. I think starting it now could be a great way just to get the players used to it. So those would be my reasons as to why I think a back three could be very beneficial for this game. So, looking at the three center backs for this game, I think this one is pretty straightforward. Considering the four center backs that we have, these three guys are just a level above Aaron Long. Jalen Neal on the left, Matt Miazga in the center, and Miles Robinson on the right. As we know, Jalen Neal is very comfortable on the ball, and him playing in a back three will be able to give him more time on the ball to pick out those passes, and I think it might be able to better benefit him playing in a back three as to a back four. Matt Miazga is a decent defender, has been fine this Gold Cup. Not as good as a 1v1 defender as Jalen Neal and Miles Robinson, but he will clear things out. He's good in the air and he's fine on the ball, so he's in the center for me. And then I have Miles Robinson on the right. I don't know if he's 100% coming off a little bit of a slight injury, but I think getting him into this game, getting him those minutes before the knockout round could only be a good thing because he is the best center back we have in this group. So I think these are the three center backs we could use for this game, and it's pretty straightforward for me. And I also have Matt Turner in goal, but that's self-explanatory as well. And moving on to the wing backs, this is also pretty straightforward as well. I have DeJuan Jones and Brian Reynolds. Both of these guys have pretty good attacking profiles, like I mentioned earlier. Brian Reynolds is just a step above DeAndre Ayton, in my opinion, is a better defender and offers so much more going forward. Has a nice long stride, he's also very quick, and can put in a great cross into the box. And he's also pretty good combining with the midfielder, so I think Brian Reynolds should be the starter for the rest of the tournament. And then I also have DeJuan Jones, who played on the left against St. Kitts, and he was good. Again, low competition, but I think he's a little bit better than John Tolkien going forward. Is quicker, combines better, and has a better cross. So I think for the way that we're playing in a three-back, DeJuan Jones and Brian Reynolds are just better fits, and they're just the best players that we have to fill those positions. Alright, so moving on to the midfield, I have James Sands as my 6 and Georgi Mihailovic and Gianluca Buzio as my 8. I don't mind it being a 3-4-3 or Georgi Mihailovic being my left forward and Jesus Ferrer tucking in the right with Buzio and Sands in a pivot. But I just think for these types of games, it just allows Georgi Mihailovic and Gianluca Buzio, our two best playmakers, to get on the ball in better areas. So for me, it makes a lot more sense. Georgi Mihailovic is just a step above Alan Senora, better on the half turn, just offers more on the ball, is better with that final pass as well, and has the ability to score goals, which is great to see. James Sands as my 6, he's just simply better than Aiden Morris, is better defensively and better on the ball. Now, Aiden Morris can play as an 8, but I just think Georgi Mihailovic and Gianluca Buzio are just simply better players. They're just more comfortable on the ball and just offer more. And I also have Gianluca Buzio sliding in as my second 8. A lot of people will be like, oh, Gianluca Buzio has barely played in Italy's second division. You can say what you want, but Gianluca Buzio for me still has a lot of class, still has a lot of nice attributes. Now, I'm not saying he's an 18 player at all, but you can see his technical ability. He is able to pick out those final passes. He is pretty comfortable on the ball if you give him that time and space, which he should have plenty in this game, especially against Trinidad. So I think for this game, Gianluca Buzio starting makes a lot of sense. He is probably one of the better, if not the best player in the entire roster. With his vision, in my opinion, also can put in some great crosses as well. So I just think this midfield, from a technical standpoint, is just better than everybody else in the squad, and it should be able to at least produce enough chances to score a decent amount of goals. And capping off with my forwards, I have Brennan Vasquez and Jesus Ferreira. So I have Brennan Vasquez more as my target 9, a guy who's going to be getting service from those wingbacks and Dewan Jones, Brian Reynolds, and he should be able to get those opportunities, whether it's with his head or on the volley. And then I have Jesus Ferreira kind of being a second number 9, playing off Brandon Vasquez, because he does make some good runs. He will get in some good positions, and I just think it's going to free him up to do better things as opposed to just playing as a lone 9. I just haven't seen enough from Cade Cowell, Alex, and Dejas to be like, yeah, they should be starting wingers. I just think playing with the 2 might be better for the entire group, especially those attacking fullbacks as well. And Jesus Ferreira should be able to be more involved in these games as well. I was impressed with him against Jamaica, but I think it would be better playing as a second number 9, being able to play off Brennan Vasquez and being able to get better touches in and around the box. So this would be my striker pair for this game. So here's just another look at the team. Obviously, Matt Turner in goal with Jalen Neal, Matt Miazga, and Miles Robinson as those 3 center backs. Dewan Jones and Brian Reynolds as those wing backs. James Sands as the 6. Gianluca Buzio and Georgi Mihailovic as the 8. Although I do expect Georgi Mihailovic to be playing a little bit more advanced than Gianluca Buzio. And then I have Brandon Vasquez and Jesus Ferreira as my number 9s. Alright, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to comments down below and tell me if you guys like the idea of a back 3. And if you don't, tell me the starting 11 that you would use for this game. My plan is to have a Trinidad recap either Sunday night or Monday morning, along with a new podcast as well. But that's going to be it for this video again. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.